Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for us now to meet the man who's taken on the world, but he's back and he's continuing to give. His name is, if you know this name, Corey Jordan. If I tell you Crossfire and the man from Crossfire, Corey Jordan, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. Corey, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
I said to you before you sat, boy, you ain't changed an inch. You look exactly the same, but you've had a phenomenal life. Let's talk a little bit about your journey so far and how you feel about that journey.
Right, so I would have started my journey in kindergarten. There was an upright piano in my classroom, and we weren't supposed to trouble the piano. So when no teachers were around, I would go bang on the piano, and then eventually I realized, you know, I could play one note and play Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff like that. So that's where my journey started. Then from there, they locked the piano, and maybe 2 years after that, my parents bought me a toy piano. And it was like this long,
Yes.
right? So then I would have listened to the radio and play nursery rhymes and different cartoons and that, and play the melodies from them.
Just by ear.
Just by ear. So I taught myself to play piano. And then when I joined law school, I learned music theory, and I was able to put the notes together. Okay, so this is C, this is D, this is E, and form bigger chords.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no looking back.
No looking
Since
back.
then, no looking back. And so you've made a life out of this?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Wow.
And then I went a step further. I joined the band Crossfire. And then eventually I taught myself to perform and play music in the studio. So I'm a music producer as well.
How did they find you, Crossfire?
Right. So the story of that is I was in the band Electric. And then from there I went on to Synergy, Double Explosion, and then a band called Fusion.
Yes.
Right? And in Fusion, we had a gig at the Port Authority. Then the lead singer and the bass player didn't show up. And everybody's on stage wondering, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I decided, okay, I didn't rehearse for all of those months not to perform.
Yeah.
It's like our biggest crowd, our biggest show. So I told the backup singers, you guys know the choruses of these songs, so sing the choruses, right? And I'm going to play the piano and I'm going to play the bass at the same time. And everyone looks at me like I'm crazy, right? How are you going to do this? You didn't rehearse the bass parts. So I played the bass parts and the keyboard parts in perfect sync.
Wow.
And unknown to me, Crossfire's manager was in the crowd at the same time. And I didn't know that. So 2 weeks later, he gave me a call. He said, hey, Corey, how would you feel joining Crossfire? And I said, Cross who? That's like the biggest band in the world. I'm only 16,
Yes.
you know?
Wow.
And he said, I saw what you did that evening, you know? You can do this. I thought that was amazing. So, you know, I talked to my parents, and my mom was like, you know, you could do it for a little while and see how it goes, you know? So that's the story of how I ended up in Crossfire.
What's the message to you from that experience? That there you were, 16 years old, just doing you.
Yeah, so, you know, I would say don't be afraid to step out. God has given you talents and gifts in the world, and he enables you to do what you have to do. So you just need to have the faith, the courage, and step forward with your talents.
And then stepping forward with your talents, you were able to now become the professional. Everybody now knows who Corey is.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about some of the names, the people who you've worked with over time, who you've created magical music for.
Right. So my debut song would be with Peter Ram, a song called Pumping.
Jeez, oh, go ahead. Sorry, forgive me.
So,
Love it.
so there's Pumping, and there's Edwin Yearwood, Good Time. I did Alison Hines, Hold On, Marshall Montano, T.O.K. I did a remix with Usher in 2016.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then last year I did Will Smith. So those are some of the names that I worked with. Also did like Statement, Nikita, and most of the local Bajan artists.
When you rub shoulders with these international artists, though, seriously, do they scare you?
At first, you know, sometimes, yeah. But after I get past the nervousness, you know, it's okay. Once I get on the keyboard and I get behind the computer, you know, that fades away.
Because they can't do what you do.
Yeah, that's right.
There. And so that's the whole point. You know, you can hold your space, be confident in your space, and do you. And they will respect you as much as you respect them as well.
Right.
And so all of this now wraps up in a wonderful little bow, and Corey is living his life. Are you happy at this point?
Yes, I am.
How would you define your happiness?
My happiness comes from doing what I love. And I would say that when you do what you love, you know, it gives you that extra push. You know, you would do it even if the money is not there, right? And seeing people receive something, seeing people achieve something from what you do and the work of your mind and your hands, gives me great satisfaction.
You've opened your company, Starway Studios.
Starway Studios.
Why that name?
Starway. Okay, so as a kid, I was always fascinated with the stars, and I wanted to find a way to use my talents to help others. So that's why I called it Starway.
Listen, my motto at primary school, at Lecox Private, was hitch your wagon to a star.
Oh, wow.
And that constellation up there is there for a reason, because you're really aiming for the highest.
Yes.
And that is what you do
Yes.
every single day now as a living.
And it also goes to say, you know, people that act, you know, actors, singers, they're stars. And basically they shine their light for the world to see. So it worked.
So how does it work for you then? Is it that you go hunting for talent, or talent comes to you, or is it both ways?
Right, so what I would have done would post my beats online, and people would go on the website and listen to my beats and, you know, say, this song's good, you know, can you do a song for me? You know, and that's how it started. But I would also reach out to people. I would scout for talent online and, you know, go to the inbox. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and say, hey, introduce yourself. And it's about helping each other and supporting each other. So that's why I would have gotten half my clients.
And you're happiest working in this endeavor now rather than just being the performer.
Yeah, because I like to be in the background.
Still as quiet as ever.
Yeah.
You like being in the background, but you don't mind pushing those forward. And that's the whole point. This is great.
Yeah.
Describe for me what you see about the music scene in Barbados.
Well, I think we have a lot of talent here. We have the most talented and charismatic artists in the world. Barbados is like a gold mine for talent, right? So we just need to focus on the other side of it now, like the business side, how we communicate, things like showing up on time, you know, being easy to work with. Those are the things. You can be talented, but having those other traits, characteristics, are things that will propel you forward.
When you look at and assess the quality of production,
Yeah.
the variety of production as well, are you happy?
Yes.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. You good. or do you think we should broaden the kinds of genres that we produce and not stick to just the few that we know?
Yeah, what we do is, you know, mostly crop over and stuff like that, but we have a wealth of talented young and old people here in different genres, reggae, R&B, gospel and such. So I think we can move more into that. And even crop over, you know, we have like 5 weeks to force 200 songs into 5 weeks. Look at Trinidad. Trinidad Starks.
But whose fault is that? Is that the artist's fault who limits their thinking to just crop over season? Or is it the structure made by the people that...
It's the structure, you know. People come in and see that and they just go with it. But sometimes you need to step outside of the status quo and chart a new path.
Well, and that's what you're doing.
That's
You're
what I'm
stepping
doing.
outside of the status quo and charting your path.
Yeah.
And your path is leading to stardom. And so Starway Studios, how can people reach out to you for those who are still in it, trying to figure, who do I get my music produced by? Who can I work with? How can they reach you?
So you can find me online. My Instagram is Starway Jordan. Starway Jordan. The studio, you can find me at www.starwaystudios.net.
Okay, starwaystudios.net or Starway Jordan on social. And reach out to Corey Jordan. Corey Jordan is phenomenal. He's worked with many big people, created many big songs, and so because his focus is on creating for you the pathway to stardom, and you have to take it responsibly. However, he wants to work with you, so you can reach out to him. You can follow him on social, Starway Jordan, and you can listen to some of the beats and say, I like that beat. I have a song I could fit that beat with, and so reach out to him and let him make the magic just for you. So good catching up with you.
Thank you.
And I really want to wish you all the very best, Corey.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.